Oh my goodness. This is like brand new. Wow. Pretty cool. Welcome back to Slow Lane K. One thing that I've been getting kind of frustrated with after driving this van for many months at this point is the slop and the stick shift. The bushings are kind of worn out, and we're getting some slop. So I'm getting the side to side, which I know is normal to some extent. It's not terrible, but we're gonna get that fixed today. We're gonna put some bushings in there and see how much smoother it's gonna be. It just feels kind of sloppy as I'm shifting. So let's get into it and let's see what that looks like. So when I was looking for bushings to try to figure out where to even find something like that, I found these on a website called Well Powered. So it comes with the full set of bushings and whatnot. So as we kind of go through, we'll kind of see if some of these washers are needed. So some of these are a little bit thicker than others. So depending on the play, kind of see what these are. These are pretty cool. These are, looks like these are 3D printed. So we'll show you where those go too. But this kit was, I think when I bought it was about 60 bucks. I think it's gonna be worth it. Hopefully have a cleaner shift, and it also comes with lubricant as well. So I should only need a 12 millimeter and a 14 millimeter wrench here to kind of get in there. So let's get in there and see. All right, so I'm over here starting on the passenger side, which is the front left side. I did take out the seat here, the brackets here, to get better access in here. So if you can see, this is kind of where one of the issues lies, that we've just got a lot of play right here. So I'm assuming that bushing's pretty shot there. So let's start there. So get that cotter pin out right here. So we're gonna take this off. I'm gonna reuse this washer here, that first one that came off. And then, oh, so there is supposed to be a bushing in here, but there's not. So I'm gonna get that little bushing in here, and then I'll get this kind of cleaned up too, get some lube on it, and then we'll put it back on. All right, so I got this new bushing put in there, and got the new cotter pin on there, put that old washer back on, and look at that. It is way better already. So this is just step one. So we're gonna hit quite a few other washers in here, in these little brackets here. So let's get to that next section. Man, I'm already pretty excited about that. All right, so next we're gonna replace this guy, and then there's two washers in here. Should have a 12 millimeter here. Okay, so we've got a larger washer here we'll put back on next. And then we have two bushings here. So let's get that off. With some brute force, goodness, okay. That doesn't look too bad. All right, so this is what we're replacing here. All right, so we got that piece off here. So it looks like there is a little ball here, so it sits on that little ball, so it could rotate there. Okay, got that snapped back in. And then we will replace these. One off at this side. Okay, so we pop that off, and let's get the new ones in from our kit. Okay, so we got those bushings back in here. It looks like they didn't necessarily need to be replaced, but I did it anyways. So we'll re-grease this little mechanism up, and then we'll get this cleaned out here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this undone for the time being, because we're going to have to pull off this side. So we're going to have to pull off this here to go that way to replace some of these bushings up here. And so we're going to have to fit this in anyway, so we'll just go ahead and leave that out for the time being. Okay, so next we're going to focus on some bushings. Well, there was supposed to be a bushing here, so there's no bushings anymore. So we're gonna have to get this off. So let's get that spring off. Yeah, there's still a good amount of movement there from the bracket itself. Let's go ahead and take these off. These two bolts here. So we'll keep this spring as it is. Okay, we're learning together. All right, so that's not gonna work. So maybe I need to do this one next. Okay, got that washer. So both of, let me see if I can get this out. So, it does look like it had some sort of washer in there. So we'll replace these two. So both sides, and then this has two washers as well. So we'll do that. Okay, so we got the new washers in. And then we'll put that aside, and then we'll get these washers. Oh, that's not good. Dropped it down there. Alright, so I got those back in there. And then the last thing we need to put is the bushing down here into there. You can kind of tough to see, but it looks like that one's pretty good, but we'll go ahead and replace that one too. So we'll keep these little washers here. Okay, move that out of the side. So this one has a little ball washer in there. Pop that one back in. Okay, so we got that washer back in. So start putting this back together. Oh, let's get some grease on that. I'll put the washers back on. And then we'll put that cotter pin back in. Okay, so we got that back in. Nice and lubed up. Alright, so let's start putting things back together. So we've got this one. Depending on how this is tightened up, I may add in another washer. Got these little inputs lubed up, so we'll put these washers back in next, or these bolts. Alright, so as I'm putting these in, I pulled this one back out because this one has a washer on it, so I want to make sure I put a washer on this side too. Learning as we go. Alright. There we go. So we got washers. Got the spring on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put an additional one of the larger washers on this side just to make sure that there is no movement. Might not be needed, but perfect. Okay, it's back on. Okay. So a lot of this we can tighten and loosen since these are lock washers on here, or lock nuts. So if we need to tighten or loosen, we can do that. Let me tighten this one down. Can find that sweet spot there. Perfect. All right, let's get this back on. Nice. Too far. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just kind of looking at every area to see. So I have some side-to-side play right here. So let's tighten this up. Okay, so we might need to add one more washer in there. Let me take this off. Trial and error. Maybe I just need to tighten it down better. How about that? So this play back and forth is just where the spring is sitting. This looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Okie doke. So lastly, we have these plates here. So these are rubber underneath. You can actually see the whole thing shakes. So so the kit came with these bushings here that I'm gonna put on the top. Not like this, but you know what I'm saying. So let me go and pull those off. So it's on all three sections here. We'll replace all three of those. That's pretty spongy. So there's some on the bottom too. So I don't know if I want to replace the top or bottom. Just get them all off, let's see. All right, so after looking at it, it looks like these bushings are made for the top. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is like brand new. Wow. Pretty cool. It's pretty wild how at least I feel that this is going to really change the driving experience. All right, I think we're done here. Let's put it back together and see what it feels like. Holy moly, so I just got back from, I guess, the test drive with the new washers and stuff in the shifter. It is so much snappier, cleaner. You're not kind of trying to find, I'm assuming this is third, I'm assuming this is fourth. I mean, just very little play. That's, I'm sure you guys know that's from the cables going in and around there. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. So I call that a success for today. Pretty easy modification, which I feel it would go a long way. The link to Well Power is in the description. So if you want to pick these things up, they've got a few other things that I also picked up on my purchase, which will be in the next video. So, and that's going to be a pretty substantial upgrade modification. So subscribe and like the video if you did like it. And give me your comments if you're familiar with Well Powered, or if you've done one of these modifications before. I think it's just a great investment, and it just makes the driving experience so much better. Such a cheap, easy fix. So I'll see you guys on the next one.